No, Max, my favorite part is, yeah, don't wanna be my lover.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe that's all the same song. It has all the melodies. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BBC.
I kick back,
Oh
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
All right. Hello. What is cracking, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Y'all Boys Talkin, a podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we talk about not only bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourselves by hearing us better ourselves. My name is Joshua Jean-Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
And I'm Maximo Santana.
Steve Della Valentina, our other co-host, is not in this week. He is on bae-cation up in the, Mormon Alps in Utah.
The Mormon Alps. He's getting SSX tricky.
Yeah, he's out here snowboarding with his bae. So we have collected some information for him regarding his challenges and whatnot, which we'll be sharing later. But aside from that, how y'all boys feeling this week?
Radical.
I had a rough go at it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll get into more in my challenges, but it's been a week. Josh, how you feeling?
You know, I'm feeling chipper, right? You know what I'm saying? Quite chipper. I'm out here doing my thing, man. I somebody asked me how I was doing, and I said I'm chipper, and they were like, "Oh, I thought your name was Josh," and I'm like, "I'm Josh, but my mood is chipper."
Would you hang out with someone named Chipper?
Chipper would probably be the best person to hang out with.
Really? What if he's always sad? What if he's just like an ironic?
Whoa! Why are you assuming it's a he?
Oh, my bad.
You know what I'm saying? Come on,
right,
dog.
You're right. No, that's all my
We're an
fault.
inclusive podcast. On that note, speaking of a week, let's talk about the STTT of the week, also known as ST3. For those that you don't know, STTT.
Yep,
three
three
T's.
T's.
Also known as ST3, is a philosophy that we have been following for a couple years now. It stands for straight to the top. Straight to the top. And essentially, we look at life as a mountain. All of your goals, dreams, and aspirations are at the top, and everything that you do is a step towards that. Therefore, we're trying to get straight to the top. That being said, our STTT of the week is a piece of news from someone, something, or some organization that has done something dope in regards to STTT. And Max has one for us this week. What you got for us, Max?
This week, we're going to talk about Eva Ramon Gallegos, who's a Mexican researcher who's been leading a team of people at the Instituto Politécnico Nacional in Mexico, where people are finding a vaccine to the human papillomavirus, HPV, which can cause cervical cancer. And it can be carried by both men and women. But of course, women are the one getting cervical cancer if it's not caught in time. So you might have seen people talking about vaccines for HPV or make sure you get your vaccine, that kind of stuff. But here, Eva and her team have found an amazing thing that can treat people that already have the virus if they didn't get the vaccine. So she ran a trial and they cured 29 people 100% successfully, which is absolutely amazing, unheard of in the space. So they're going to be ramping up trials for this, try to, commercialize it so they can get out to as many types of people as possible and see if we can cure another disease, because that's what humanity's all about. That is STTT for real. That's straight to the top for their team, who's been working 20 years for this moment.
Yo, I can't even imagine her kicking it at a restaurant. They're like, "Oh, how you doing? I cued HPV."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to scientists.
Yo, for real.
Yo, shout out to scientists, all right? Y'all could be doing literally anything else, all right? Y'all could be doing a Twitch stream. Y'all could be
Hey, don't disrespect Twitch streamers, please.
You could be a Twitch streamer, but you could also be a scientist. I'm down if you're streaming League of Legends and you're also a scientist. But if you're just streaming League of Legends, I'm just you can do something, dog.
Okay, Frank, let's not alienate our user base. Listen, if you are a Twitch streamer, we love you and support you. please stream yourselves listening to this podcast.
As a matter of fact, I think what we could do is enable scientists to get as popular as Twitch streamers. All right, if we just develop a platform where you can stream your research, and then people see you looking at your petri dish and the microscope and the pipette. Yeah, I think it's riveting entertainment, and people would love to see. Just imagine, you only had to watch this Twitch stream for 20 years to see the moment where they actually solved it. It's worth it.
It's like, no, that's perfect.
The only thing that I have taken 20 years to work on is how the fuck to spell definitely, but that's another story. Shout out to Mexico for holding it down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things economically and systematically that are working against, the working class people over there, but the fact that there are wonderful stories like this coming out of that country is amazing. So shout out to y'all. Big time. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We still ain't got sponsors, but that being said, that has not stopped us from a word from ourselves. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My skincare routine is locked tight. Aloe in the morning, cucumbers before bed, warm water to open the pores, and cold water to close them. It's a lot to keep up. What you don't see is how much water I drink throughout the day. I have a glass of water right before each meal and right when I'm eating. If I don't, all the aloe, cucumbers, and facial cleanses don't really do much. Drinking water gives your skin an even tone, diminishes dark spots, and just makes me glow. If you care about your skin, you care about drinking water. Time to open up those pores.
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. Hope you enjoyed the words from our sponsors, which are ourselves. For our next segment, we have our challenge checkup. Last week, if you listened to us, we set the tone of the purpose of this podcast, which was our New Year's challenges. Maximo Santana inspired us by giving each of us specific challenges, and we went ahead and challenged each other. And every week we'll be checking in on the progress of that.
Well, I also like to remind us of what we're leading up to. So we're trying to get all these challenges, at least our main 3 challenges, completed by our high school reunion, which will be coming up in June. And the losers will have to read out exactly why they failed in a prepared speech to our former classmates. While if we all win, because we can only all win together, we show up in a Lambo.
Blasting Migos.
Blasting Migos.
Mind you, we still haven't figured out how 4 people are going to fit into a Lambo, but we'll figure that
that's
out.
A later problem.
Or how we're going to get the Lambo onto the boat. It's going to be a lot of...
It's going to be a lot of...
That's a problem
planning.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
For today, we'll worry about our challenges.
Big facts. That being said, this week, since Steve is out, we had him give us a brief summary of his challenges of this week and how he handled them. So we're going to cut away for a second so Steve can fill us in.
Hey y'all boys, I'm currently in the beautiful mountains of Utah right now. Here's my check-in for the week. I journaled 3 times, I made no music, and I did not wait. Alright, back to the slopes with Celeste.
Thank you so much for that, Steve. We appreciate you sending us that little recording. I hope your progress continues to grow and evolve. So, Frank, why don't you start us off? Why don't you reiterate your challenges and let us know how they were?
Ooh-wee. Okay. So for my challenges, let's just go from tippity top. To maintain a consistent meditation regimen, let me tell you something. As far as doing that, you have to kind of like get up really early. And one of my biggest issues right now is getting up early because I go to sleep hella late. I work my 2 jobs from 10 to 7, then from 7 to question mark, and that question mark typically ends up being past midnight. So I'm like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, go meditate, go do yoga, and I got this. Then I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, definitely not going to scroll on Facebook. And that's not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on Twitter, and I love me with my Twitters. But I love me with my Twitters. But what happens is that like, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go on my phone because I know in my heart of hearts that going on my phone and scrolling is bad. But the thing is, I just lay there. I just lay there and I'm just like, you know what? Sleep's good. And it's been cold out here in LA recently, so like, why should I go outside of my blankets? It's kind of like where I'm where my head's at. So just like kind of getting myself out of bed to like go there. And by the time I get out of bed, it's about 5 minutes before I have to like leave the house and like get back to driving. So like,
what was your success rate this week with that?
so my success rate was 2 out of 7 days.
Okay.
I actually got up early and did it. So for me, I'd like to at the least do 5 days a week, at least Monday through Friday. Like that's kind of like my goal in my head, to be consistent, to be like more explicit as far as like that challenge goes. But yeah, like waking up early is just really tough on that. And you know, once I get my sleeping schedule to normal, then hopefully I can knock that bad boy out. Now,
So you know what you did that inhibited that, and you know what you need to do to make that better, yeah?
bruh, yeah, sleep's, yeah, man, sleep's the whole thing, and I feel like
What are you gonna do next week to make that 2 out of 7 into 3 or 4?
I just gotta kind of figure out my second half of the day. My second half of the day, if I just keep like falling apart and being like, you know what, being staying up super late, that's a perfectly fine thing. Like, you get to like a point of diminishing return. So like, if you stay up late, it doesn't really do anyone any good. And I gotta kind of get that notion out of my head where I'm just like, yeah, no, if I stay up to like 1 o'clock in the morning, that'll make the rest of my day better. When in reality, if I wake up earlier, my whole day will get a kickstart because I have those. Oh, what?
Do you have trouble sleeping?
My sleep's pretty good. I can't front on that. My sleep's actually
Like the act of falling asleep.
Nah. Like, not too long ago, I actually got into, because my schedule used to be way worse. It used to be like really volatile. So like, kind of once I get into bed, like I'm already like on a one-way trip to sleep town.
Oh, okay, good.
Like one-way trip. So like, getting to sleep is not that bad. It's just like summoning the will once I'm awake to like get out. So there's been something that y'all have done that have helped you, like, you know, get your ass out of bed? Is it something that y'all have done that?
I too am a victim of the scroll. So it is rather challenging, but I will say having an obnoxious alarm helps. I recently got a Google Home that has this fucking obnoxious alarm. So the only way to turn it off is I have to say, "Hey Google, stop." So that usually sparks the intention of waking up. Actually, I'm not even going to front. I don't know what the fuck to do to get out of bed. Max, what you got?
Max, what do you have for waking up?
Yeah.
Save us.
So the first thing I do is, the alarm helps. The alarm is also on the opposite side of the room. Like, it's not within arm's reach. I can't get to it from my bed. I have to physically get up to take my alarm off, right? That's number one. But I will often go right back to bed as soon as I do that. So that's not like a game changer, you know? Another one I do is, so a lot of people struggle from that, wake up, scroll, repeat kind of cycle. And to get away from that, I suggest don't tell yourself you're going to go cold turkey on it immediately. Don't be like, tomorrow I'm going to scroll 0 on my phone, get up and get my day started. I give myself 15 minutes to really scroll. The problem is,
that sounds like a slippery slope, dog.
Yeah, it's like snoozing too much on your alarm, right? Or like, I'm just gonna rest my eyes.
Yo, I feel the snooze button is like, that's the laziest person on the planet. They're just enabling. Like, you're an enablement specialist. Like, that's an enablement specialist right there. It's just
Snooze
like,
buttons.
yeah, don't worry about it. I know you chose to wake up now, but
Yeah. So I just have a rule for myself where I'm not awake in my bed for more than 15 minutes. If I'm awake and I'm in my bed, my plan is to get out within 15 minutes every single time. And that in itself has been just much more helpful for me. And it's not like, I'm not going to scroll, whatever, I got to get up. It's like, no, I got 15 minutes. As soon as I'm spending more than 15 minutes, I automatically understand I'm mindlessly scrolling. I probably already got what I needed to get from any place I went to on my phone. It does not take me more than 15 minutes to get caught up on anything on any social media channel. So I just have a timer for myself, basically, that says, you're wasting your time beyond this point.
All right, so I'm definitely going to give that a big shot next week. But moving on to the fun one. Try the No S diet for 4 weeks. So the No S diet, for those that don't know, is no snacking, no seconds, and no sweets, except for days that start with S, so that's weekends. Man! So in my thorn rose bed last week, I was just like, yo, like fast food's amazing. Fast food's still amazing, but I've now switched it over to, this is what I thought I was going to be able to do to like kind of fix that. So I did the math, and I thought buying Hungry Man TV dinners would like, I thought I was like, if you do the math, it's way less than eating like 2 bacon cheeseburgers from Jack in the Box.
Math makes sense.
So I did the math, and I'm like, okay, if I have this at home, then like that's solid. So like I did that for like the first couple of days last week, and I was like, all right, so I was good with this, I was good with that, but then like my week kind of just was rough. And again, it's all related to not waking up early, and like I just kind of feel like in an off mood. And then my company's gonna be moving in a couple of weeks, and I'll talk more about that in my Thorn Rosebud. So to celebrate, the company's actually getting us all this super dope food in celebration, and I'm just like, well, it's gonna be just like this week, or it's gonna be like another week, and then I just keep giving myself excuses on like why I should
put it off. Start tomorrow.
Putting it off. Next week is everyone's favorite time to start a workout. And like especially starting a diet. And like even though this one's not as restrictive, and which is why I really like it and why I feel I can definitely do it, I've kind of been giving myself a lot of excuses for that. Max, what do you think I should do to stop all this snacking that's fucking me up?
Meal prep is a savior. So I think that's what you're kind of get at with the Lonely Man TV dinners. But at the same time, you can only put so much variety.
Lonely Man TV dinners.
Yeah. For me, to get rid of the no S is about making sure that your meals are substantial, or that you're continually convincing yourself that you've had enough to eat already.
That's big.
You're right. And you have to like rely on that, because your body, your stomach will be like, you're hungry. You're
fucking hungry right now.
Yeah.
Eat more food.
Yo, to piggyback off of that, I would also recommend whenever you feel like you want to snack, drink some water, because 99% of the time that means you're just dehydrated.
Just thirsty. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, and also what I've experienced, because I used to be vegan, I only recently started eating fish, but I still stay away from any sort of animal products. But what I would have to do, since I was vegan, plants go really quickly in your body. So what I would do is I would gorge on healthy food. So like my stomach was like full, but at least I know like it was healthy, so
full of kale and nutrients and berries.
But there are some really good healthy snacks, I really like carrots and hummus. Apples and peanut butter is my jam. So I would just make sure, like, I always look at the from what I've read or researched is that like think about your day as an upside down pyramid, where you eat a lot in the morning and then like it slowly trickle down. So I eat a pretty big breakfast of healthy stuff. So then like by noon or whatever, then like my lunch is like a minimal thing, and then I can have like a healthy snack. But if you kind of keep everything in your lunchbox and be like, I'm only going to eat from this box, then I'm good. Also, I'll throw in one more S. I don't want to say shame, but shame.
Okay.
Like if you are actively not complying with your challenges, you need to call yourself out on it as you're doing it. And if you don't stop, that's fine. But you'd be like, I am not honoring my challenges right now. I'm going to eat this. And as long as I'd rather you not do your challenge and keep yourself accountable for it instead of like not even mention it, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think my biggest issue right now is that I'm doing a regular pyramid, and because of my not consistently waking up early, I'm not eating anything in the morning. So like at night I'm super hungry, and then like my willpower is completely depleted. So I'm just like,
so you go for
garbage food, bruh. But next week let's let's give this a real go. Again, I'll talk more about the company moving later, but that's hopefully not going to be a deterrent to me reaching my goals. And now my final challenge is speak up more at work concerning social issues. Now, as we talked about last week, that's kind of a difficult one to,
hard to make weekly progress.
Hard to make weekly progress on. So what I've decided to make that as far as my progress goes, is to just get more woke on my end. Because the only thing we have is education. If the only thing we have like is education, like to like get people, people who don't know any better, like just a little more informed. But it can get a little difficult because yesterday I went to my friend's film premiere, and as I walked out, this random gentleman, he's like, "You know who you look like?" And now let me give you some background. When people have told me, you know who you look like, when I was younger, it was a lot of Vin Diesel. To some people, it was Ludacris, and I would get those like all the time. So I'm like, all right, so this is probably some guy who's going to compare me to one of these two people or someone specific. But nah, Brother Man was just straight up like, you know who you look like? The rapper. You know the rapper? And I'm just like, I don't know who you're talking about. You know, the rapper. So I'm just like,
the rapper. Oh,
rapper.
You don't know the rapper?
Yeah.
No,
The one singular rapper. Yeah.
Is he talking about Parappa the rapper?
He could have been, because he was convinced that I knew who the rapper was, and I was just like, "Oh, you know the rapper," because he put in the tone like, "Oh, come on, this guy's pulling my leg."
Yeah, you look like someone that knows rappers.
He was just like, "Nope,"
I think is what he was getting at.
just a black guy. Just you sir probably just need to meet more black people and not just straight up call them rappers. So in order to try and like kind of get. And again, I'm sure he meant no ill will. This is something I'm going to keep repeating over and over again. But at the same time, Brother Man didn't know any brothers. So I need to make sure that I'm on top of my stuff. So by doing that, what I've done this week is stay consistent with reading the book that I presented last week, which is called White Over Black, how Americans have treated Africans since like we first came to this country. And it's a fascinating read. And I'm just going to continue on that and hopefully finish the book rather soon. But yeah, those are my 3 challenges. Hey,
Max, what you got for us?
Smacks.
Challenge-wise, I got 3 of them.
You do?
Yeah. Frank challenged me to start writing and get the first 60 pages of my great American novel. That's doubled from 30 last week. And my second challenge, Josh wants me to see a therapist. And my third challenge, Steve wants me to get people on the Best Lives model. Those are the 3. This week, I really didn't make a ton of progress in any of those, which kind of sucks. But to me, the beginning stages, we just had a kickoff for all of these challenges not too long ago. So to me, it's much more important to, I guess, plan it out and in my mind, have a way that I can do all this stuff, definitely get it all done by June. So what I did was took out a calendar for the next 4 months and plotted some milestones and some deadlines for myself related to all these challenges in specific. So that way I know, like, for the book I'm writing in February, I need to write 3 treatments and then select one of those treatments to be something that eventually becomes the novel.
No, that's like your great American novel.
The great American novel.
Great American novel.
Not just some
It is
novel.
not a fucking novel. It is the great American novel.
People need to look back at that and be like, oh, wow, this is a true American.
There's going to be swashbuckling. There's going to be,
swashbuckling.
Yes.
If there's no swashbuckling, I'll be very disappointed, Santana.
All right. Keep your hat on.
Just
all right?
Make that as a note. Need swashbuckling.
Yeah.
I'd also like to comment that Maximo also could not get to a couple of his goals because he spent most of the week editing the first episode of our podcast.
Yo, shout out to Maximo Santana.
Shout out to Maximo Santana.
That man is like creating the hammer to build the bench. Like this man is learning how to use these programs while working on this podcast to get it to you people. And like he took the challenge on and has been killing it so far. So like straight up, Max.
Thank you for sacrificing the likelihood of you giving a speech in front of our graduating class for the sake of creating a podcast that is going to let people know that you are going to be giving a speech in front of our graduating class.
Yeah, it's like I'm sharpening the axe that's going to be used to cut off my own head. It's very interesting to do that. So thank you for the opportunity. Very unique opportunity.
So you know how you flopped and you know how to fix it, yeah?
Yeah. So for the Best Lives stuff, I need to finish it's a whole model. I need to get that model finished in February so that, Josh, you started with me like over the summer, I think.
Yep.
The first few phases of that. So we need to get you all the way through. And you're kind of going to be my guinea pig before I get any of the real 3 people on it.
Can I be like a guinea plant?
Yeah. Whatever kind of guinea you want to be. That's fine with me.
Can I be a new guinea?
And as for my last challenge, I'm actually going to be making a series of appointments this week with all of my health professionals. So I need like an optometrist appointment, dentist, doctor, therapist. Literally everyone is going to be getting a call from me this week. So I got time blocked out at the end of each of my days to make appointments with all these people that are going to tell me if I'm dying or not. So kind of important. Definitely going to make sure that's happening.
And is a mental health counselor one of those appointments?
Absolutely. My physical body, my mental are equally as important. So definitely going to take care of both of those.
Okay,
So
good.
perfect. All right,
excited.
Josh. You got your challenges too.
My challenges were to make music, bonus points if it's with my banjo, to keep a budget, a detailed budget on my financial health for at least, what was it, for 3 weeks, 3 months?
It was for at least 2 months, but I think Steve upped it to
6 months. 4 months.
until we
Yes.
get to the reunion.
And last but not least, it was to maintain a consistent workout schedule. I will say I made steps to the top in all of those aspects.
Ooh, okay. How you do it?
I planned on going to the gym one day after work this week. I sat there and thought about my own energy levels throughout the day, and I realized that at night is probably the best time for me to work out. So this week I packed my gym clothes in my car, and I was like, all right, after work, I'm going to head up. I'm going to go over there, and I was going to go do that, and I was thinking about what I was going to do. It was going to be kind of like a light workout to kind of get me in the groove. Then I received a text from my roommate, one of my in-shape roommates that I live with. He's like, hey, you trying to work out today? And I was like, oh crap, a sign from the heavens.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, I was planning on going to the gym. He's like, perfect, I'll meet you there. So I actually went there, and the light little workout that I was planning on doing turned into a full-fledged workout consisting of supersets, which are sets that you do a set of a routine, and then you take a break in between. But instead of a break, they were replaced by another workout routine. So I did that, but it was nice to get my ass kicked. I was winded, I was exhausted, and I proceeded to be sore for the next couple of days. I did use that as an excuse not to work out for the rest of the week, but hey, I got one in.
Hey, that's better than zero.
I got one in.
That's better than zero.
And I'm planning on. So I've identified that the issue I was not consistent. However, to make sure that's the case, I'm going to do it incrementally. I went once this week. I'm going to go twice next week. And then the week after that, I'm going to go 3 times. And then I'm going to keep it at 3 times for maybe like 2 weeks. And then I'm going to do 4 times. But I think 3 to 4 times will be my consistent workout schedule that I will go on to. So I made progress towards that.
I think the most important part of that is to make sure to schedule your rest days as importantly as your workout days.
Yeah.
Because like when you get your ass kicked, like it's really like you said, it's really easy to be like, you know what, I did it. I done did it. I did all the working out. I can be good on everything else. That's actually psychologically speaking why they put vegetables in front of like supermarkets. So if you walk into a supermarket and you see like vegetables and stuff like to your right or whatever, they put that there first specifically so you can be like, okay, I got all my fruits, my vegetables. So then you can walk around the rest of the store and be like, I already did my healthy thing. And now I can have all the snacks and stuff, whatever like that. So getting good stuff out first, technically gives you an excuse to be like, nah, I'm good. But schedule these rest days to make sure that you don't like fall apart real quick.
Big facts. And I also have to invest in protein shakes because apparently that helps with soreness. That shit is debilitating, but no complaints here.
Oh, Naked Rice. We're not sponsored by Naked Rice, but if you want vegan protein, Naked Rice is a really good brand, and I use that all the time.
Cool. Duly noted. Regarding my finances, I actually took major steps this week My father has had a good hand in helping me on my financial journey. He is quite the frugal father. And I had a powwow with him last week, and I made an Excel sheet. I signed up for
Ooh.
mint.com.
Hold on, you had me at Excel sheet. You opened that up and used
I
it?
opened up an Excel sheet. I created a Roth IRA account.
Wow.
For
I'm
my
not even sure what that is. I think I have one, but I'm not sure.
An individual retirement account. That's going to be some of my funds are going to be put into a mutual fund. I went ahead and made a couple budgets, and yeah, I've set up the infrastructure on which I am to maintain a budget. Granted, I did go out to dinner like twice this week, which kind of set me back. But I coupled it with the excuse of being sore from working out, so I was too sore.
You did your one good thing a week.
Well, it's not the end of the world to go out to eat twice. What's your budget for
I'm gonna
entertainment
give
or going out
myself
to eat?
$50 a week of fun money.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's
Fun
important.
money.
Too.
So $50 a week of fun money, but I think I went a little over, but that's fine. And I've identified the problem. So what I did was I created I used Cash App. We're not sponsored by Cash App, but it's pretty dope.
It's really good. Yeah.
I got a cash card, so that's going to be the card that is utilized for my fun money. And my debit card is going to be away from me. So anytime I want to spend something, then I just have my cash card, which has an allotted amount of money.
I totally feel you on that. Like, I keep my credit cards at home as much as humanly possible. Because, like, the beauty and terrible thing about credit cards is that it's just, like, money that goes into the ether. It's just like, yo, I can spend $200 on this.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
$200? That's not a problem. You know what my limit is? My limit is just like, ooh-wee. Like, that's like nothing.
What's your credit limit? Ooh-wee.
No, my credit limit on each of my cards is very good, and combined is ridiculous. But if I keep thinking in that way, I'm never actually saving money. I just have more of the idea of money. I have more allowance of taking money of borrowing money from the bank rather than is paying stuff from my bank. So anything that I do in my day-to-day purchases, I typically only give myself about $100 every pay period for myself. So that's my fun money.
Yeah.
And then like $50 for gas. Like
Yep.
I have $100 to do whatever the heck I want with, but I have to use it for my debit card. Because if I start playing around with my credit cards like it's a game, boy, this ain't a game.
It's a deep black hole. Yeah, so I looked at this week as setting up the infrastructure. So, and lastly, steps towards my banjo, or my music with my banjo. I looked at it.
Ooh, that's a good start.
Yo, you can't play it if you don't look at it. You know what I'm saying?
I looked at it. It was a small step, but I looked at it.
That's the smallest possible step you could have taken.
Yeah.
But
So we'll see what next
forward.
week looks like.
What's the plan for? What do you have as an idea for next week aside from looking at it, which is a great start?
I'm gonna follow up with a banjo teacher that I know, and I'm gonna inquire about taking banjo lessons. So I think that'll be getting myself in a classroom setting musically. I think would be best for me. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes.
Perfect.
On that note, those are our follow-up challenges. We hope that our slacking and our bits of progress have inspired you in some sort of way. We'll keep the train going and let you know how we're doing next week. We're gonna take one more break and we will be back for our final segment, Rosebud Thorn. Stay tuned.
Are your texts getting misread? Need to tell someone something right now? Spell check getting on your ducking nerves? Try phone calls. Grab phone, dial, ring it, and smile. Contact your friends in a jiffy. Listen to the tone of their voice, the emotion in their voice. Glad, mad, happy, and rad. All sounds are included. Using age-old technology, your phone beams your voice wirelessly right to your friends, family, and even your dog. You can get phone calls using any cellular device, even the one you're using right now. Try phone calls. the best new old way to connect.
And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. Hope you're having a good time. For our final segment, Rose, Bud, Thorn, we recap the Rose of the week, which is something that we are really grateful for that happened. The Bud of the week, which is something that we're looking forward to next week. And the Thorn of the week, which was something that was a bit of a thorn on our side. But we ain't going to let no thorns get in the way of our progress. Ain't that right, gentlemen?
Yeah. Take that, Thorns. Not a fan of you. Gonna take it down to Thorntown.
You feel me? Max, why don't you start us off? What are your Rosebud Thorns of the week?
Yeah. Interestingly, my thorn and my rose are the exact same thing. So I just saw a beautiful rose and I just picked the whole thing up. It's full of thorns, unfortunately.
Oh no.
What happened to me was, so of course I took up some challenges last week as well, bonus challenges. I think we all did. Including like having a more consistent workout routine, regimen, schedule. So I go to the gym on Friday, and I like rock climbing. I go to a rock gym, and I'm climbing I learned so much, guys. I learned you call them you send a route. A route is called a beta, and each of the rock climbing things you can ascend are called problems. Wonderful little community they got going on down there. So I was sending up a problem on Friday and actually had a great time. And it wasn't until the day after that, first of all, that's my rose, that I went to the gym and I learned all this stuff about rock climbing. And then my thorn comes the day after when I woke up and I realized I sprained my left wrist.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know, the adrenaline of learning all that new vocabulary must have just blinded me to the pain while I was climbing.
The adrenaline of learning new vocabulary.
Listen, Max, most of the time he's a special guy. That's what gets him going. So yeah, I woke up the day after and I could barely bend my wrist in any different way. Like I got like a permanent robot hand. So, but it's been feeling a lot better. Literally just have to, I'm just going to walk it off really, but I think I'll be good to go by like Tuesday or something. But yeah, that.
Why don't you walk it out?
I can't walk on my hands. So.
That's probably for the best. If you're also climbing stuff, Josh and I saw this movie called Free Solo, which is now nominated for the Academy Award for Best Documentary.
Yeah, you should watch that movie. Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! He raw dogged a mountain.
Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal. And that movie will make you clench, bro.
Yeah, my butt cheeks were mad tight.
Yeah. My bud is sticking to the plan. Like we went over in the last segment, came up with a pretty detailed plan to what I got to do in February, all the way to make sure that everything, sees itself through for making sure we get to be in that Lambo in June. So I need to stick to this plan starting this week. And that's what my bud is just going in there, realizing Monday is a brand new day. And I'm going to wake up and stick to the plan.
So, Frank, what about you? What's your Rosebud Thorn for the week?
So, my thorn this week is I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet. That's my big thing. I've been a big fan of this series for over 14 years. I got to work on it, which would be part of my rose. But the fact that I haven't played it yet kind of makes me kind of rethink parts of my life where I'm not making enough time for fun and for enjoyment. Where, like, professionally, I feel things have been going as good as they've ever been. But as far as, like, personally, it's just far things that just bring me joy, just little things that bring me joy, like playing this video game. It's stuff that I've kind of have pushed back, and if I'm working this hard, what am I truly trying to get to?
Big facts.
If not to enjoy the things in life that I truly enjoy. So that's my thorn for this week, and I'm definitely going to get to it, but it's definitely kind of like made me think of the parts that my life has taken and where I put fun into it. So I will definitely be checking into that more later on. My rose of this week is the fact that I got to work on the Kingdom Hearts 3 franchise, and they've officially been released now, so I can now talk about them.
Oh, shit. Official.
Yep. So on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, the official Kingdom Hearts pages have been playing all these character cards that I've made, so I've made them for a number of characters.
Nice.
And the fact that the response has been the way that it is, it makes me incredibly happy that they've been going so well, and professionally I feel like really good that this is happening. And on top of how good professional life is going is that I'm also debt free.
Wow.
Oh,
I am debt free and
Freedom.
Mhm.
Freedom.
Mhm.
Freedom. Yeah, freedom.
Just like that. That's exactly what's going on in my head most of the time. But it's just something amazing. Like when you're on the journey of STTT, when you're trying to work all your way to the top, it's like taking off a huge backpack and flying up the mountain. So all of my challenges, everything's going to get an extra boost just because I don't have that monkey on my back. And if you have a lot of debt right now, I know you feel it, even if you're not thinking about it conscientiously. Yeah. Every time, you know that it's definitely taking part of you every single day. So I'm happy that I'm free of that and I'm moving forward, which will lead to my bud is that professionally, things are going great. I've been working at this advertising firm for 2.5 years, and we've had one of the best years on record. And in 2 weeks, we're actually going to be moving locations to a much bigger and doper place. And I've been really moving on. No, we're going to be on the top floor of this
shit.
historic building.
Okay.
So geographically, you are STTT.
We are, yeah.
Physically STTT.
going STTT. So this is still a pretty small company, but we had really the best year, and I'm really excited to be growing with it. I love going to work, even on the really tough days. Like I still enjoy the people that I work with, and there's a really good environment to it. So I'm excited to see where this company goes and where we go, and hopefully I can get my own office.
Shit! Hey.
Yeah, but
So literally, your elevator rides every morning will be STTT.
every morning. So I'm down for that. Josh, what you got?
So my rosebud thorn of the week. My thorn is I got into some car trouble this week. I was initially told that I cannot drive on the highway because of my bald tires. I got an older car from my grandfather. So I went ahead and got 2 tires, and I was like, yes, I can finally go on the highway to get to work quicker. And then they were like, hey, your back 2 bearings are messed up. You shouldn't go on the highway. I was like, God damn it. So car trouble is not fun, but I'm accepting it. And I am grateful that I have a car, but kind of set me back a little bit financially
It's like a small
and time-wise.
As a person who lives in LA, like a kid is, like a car is basically like a small child you have to keep taking care of every month.
Exactly. But thankfully, once all of those problems are done, I won't have a car note because it's already paid, and I'm excited about that. My bud is going to be, I'm really excited. I was recently inspired by Marie Kondo. She's been popping up.
Snap.
She's been popping up in my life this week in various variations and versions. I keep seeing her and her concepts come arise, and I was inspired, and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna condo my life.
Oh, snap.
So I'm gonna next week, I work during the week, so I'm gonna make some preparations during the week, but next weekend, probably on Sunday, right after we record the next episode, I'm gonna dump everything on my bed and see what sparks joy in my room, and hopefully my room can be a bit more of a temple. And last but not least, my rose was that this week I set up a morning routine and I stuck with it for 5 fucking days.
Woo!
Good man. I woke up. My routine is I wake up, I make my bed, I meditate, I say my affirmations, I read a meditation from my Stoic book of principles, and I look at my vision board. And I did that for 5 days in a row, and I gotta tell you, it was really, really grounding. I feel like despite any little inconvenience that happened to me this week, I was not swayed because my morning started off right. On that note, we are out here literally in life, and we are out here in this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into our 2nd episode. We hope you had a good time, and we hope that we inspired you to better yourselves by hearing us better ourselves. Have a wonderful, productive week, and we hope that you continue to go straight to the top.
Straight
Bye, y'all.
to the top.
Straight to the top. Bye, everybody. We got a couple shout-outs that we want to give. Shout out to Gino Music for making the theme song. The song is called Won't Stop. Eddie and Lewis for making the interstitial music and giving us the good vibes. Follow along with our challenges at y'allboystalkin.com. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud.
Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Y'all Boys Talkin'. New episodes every week.